Well, hello everyone. It's Tyler, and I am up live and talking about SoFi. And I think that I am doing this correctly. I'm not sure. It says streaming, and the thing that I'm kind of confused is why I don't see anywhere for people to leave any comments over here. So let's just put this down and go to YouTube and see if I'm streaming right now. So hold on. Let's go over here, notifications, see what's going on. Oh, no, let's go down here to your channel. And maybe I'm not streaming at all, but I don't care. Let's go live. Let's hit this button and see what happens now. Trying to go live. All right. X says excellent connection. And I think we're up and running live here. It now says 60 seconds. And for some reason, I'm not seeing myself. I do see now the chat thing, and I'm going to put it over here. Is anybody out there? All right. I think we're up and live. And let's get over here. And I want to post this right here at the beginning. I'm sorry not to already have it pulled up, but I'm going to soon have it pulled up. And it would be YouTube. Sorry about this, people. But hey, welcome to my channel and templates. And go there. All right. And then it says down here, this is what I want to say to everybody. And I'm going to copy this right here. And we're going to put this on where we're at. And again, I apologize for taking all this up, but that's what we do here sometimes. And we're going to put this right here. There we go. So, greetings. Please keep any comments civil and respectful, and name calling will not be permitted, but differing viewpoints are always welcome. So, please try to be factual if you can, and we'll all get along. Thanks for hitting the like button, subscribing, and leaving your thoughts. And now it's wake up time with the old crow. And I know it seems kind of crazy to be doing a wake up time at 10:30 in the morning, but hey, it's 1 hour into the trading session. Let's go see what's going on here. Let me first of all make sure I do this all correctly. Like I said, this is really my first time, so I appreciate you uh, being patient with me. But we're going to get beyond all this. Let's put this right up here and one more up above right there. And now we can make this happen, I believe. And I'm going to reduce the size of my picture and downsize me if I can get it captured. There it is. So we've got a lot of stuff to go over, but I'm going to be very brief. I'm going to set my alarm like I have been doing for 10 minutes. So we're going to put it on right now. And there we go. Set alarm for 10:40 a.m. Okay, now let's go ahead and get looking at this and stop wasting time here. Get this display up here. And let's get over here to the summary page. And I said right here on this comment on the message board, it said that it's time to put on some OJ's music. And, it's going to be people of the world join hands on the love train. And I think that's the SoFi train. So let's look at the volume over here. First of all, 9 million shares. And that's relatively low compared to as of late. I definitely do keep track of shares. And a few days ago, we were about, let's see where we were at this time. Let's see. We've got a lot of pages of numbers, that's for sure. But let's see. Well, anyway, uh, let me get up close to this time that we're at. The last time, the last time I was checking it, a few days back on the 15th, the volume was at 9:30 anyway, 620,000. So that gives you some perspective. And let's see here on the 20th at 11, the volume was 26 million. That was a lot. That was on a triple downgrade day, I believe. And anyway, so that was that day. And we can go back here and see where we were here at what time. 10:50. The volume was at 10,330 on the 22nd. So you can see, yeah, nothing unusual about the volume. Let's go ahead here and get back over to this because I've got one page, lots of highlights all over it, and we're going to show you what I think is important about SoFi right now. So first of all, looks like Kathy Wood did make a good decision to buy in a couple days ago. As you can see, she's making money today, and anybody who's bought in since I started first talking about SoFi after the earnings report on the 1st of May, I believe it was. And you can see what happened immediately after that. The price fell over 20% on that day for some unknown reason. That was pretty much right when I decided to buy it and to get people involved in it because I thought it was a buying opportunity, and I did not see any reason whatsoever for it to be down 20% after such great earnings. And I'm going to show you this real quick over here. These are their last 4 quarters of earnings. So you can see they've beaten every single time, outperforming expectations. And the same thing with their revenues during, the COVID years. Look at them. So, and then there's plenty of analysts now. There's actually another one is added. We got 4 7 down there saying hold. No one has underperformed or sell. So just a brief touch on that. But let's take a look at some of these price swings that is going on. If you watch my last video on when I talked about Kathy Wood buying into PLTR, you can look back on the 17th of May when she came in where the price was under $10. Now, since then it went up to 17, which is a 70% increase. I'm not saying she was the cause of that, but the volume sure jumped from 63 million the day before she was involved in it to 140 million, I think it was the day after. A lot. Anyway, I could be wrong, but it was way higher. You can look at that yourselves. Look at the date of the volume on the 17th and the 18th to confirm what I'm saying. And the volume ever since that, the 18th, the 19th, 20th, as the price was climbing, most of those days were over 100 million. It's cooled off now some, pulled back some, but PLTR is still up about 40% from her entry there. And um, so I wanted to bring that to your attention. But as I did in the other video, you could see some really high price swings that were going in. And if you look around at the start of May the 30th, you can see that. And look at the 90-cent swings that you were seeing on that PLTR stock after she got in. And we're seeing the same thing now with SoFi quite a bit. If you watched one of my videos, you'll know that I pointed out the big swings, 70%, 70 cents to 90 cents, 94 cents. So one of the strengths that we can take away from the action the other day, let's see here, back up here, get this right sheet of paper that I have all my information on. It's all highlighted. Uh-huh. And we've got a lot right here, believe me. Uh-huh. Yes, let's see here. SoFi. Hey, is anybody out there? Let's take a look at our screen. Am I doing this right? There is. Oh, and did we enter that? Boop. I don't know if this is up where everyone can see this or not. But anyway, looks like we've had one current viewer. So welcome, whomever you are. Um, and let's just go over these quick numbers. All right. So SoFi, as I said, has been at a price recently over $10.23 was the high about a week or so ago. Then we had a lot of people saying it was way too high because their estimates, the analysts had estimated quite a bit lower than where it had reached. And so, anyway, at this point in time, I'm going to just talk about SoFi and is it a sleeping giant? And I believe that it honestly believe that it is, and it is right now about to explode. And I've shown people the reasons why with all the volume lately. But let's take a look at the drops that have been happening lately on the 5-day chart, just in case you haven't noticed this. And for anybody that's a day trader, you better take a very close look at this because as you can see, right at the open, bam, way down. Look at these drastic drops on this 5-day chart. And I'm going to try to come in a little bit closer here. There we go. So look at that. Boom, right in the morning, right early. Look at this drastic, steep drop. Look at that. And then but this is what I want you to pay attention to. Look at Friday's drop. Not so steep, huh? Look at these here. Look at here. And look at the volume to make it go to this level where apparently a lot of people wanted in at that 771 low on that day, on Friday. And but you can see what's happened since then. The strength of this stock is just incredible. The volume was much better on Friday, and you can see that it built in real as the price was rising, can't you? And then you can see again on yesterday. I want you to look at the gradualness of this in comparison to these previous two. And to me, this is an indication of more strength in SoFi. And today, well, look at this drop right here from 864 all the way down to it was 771 was the low they're showing. I never saw that number fill, but sometimes they spike down real quick and up. So it was more like around 770 what they're showing right here. What was it? 778. But it popped down there. Somebody threw in a big whatever. And I'm just saying 771 is what they're showing. But the difference between 864 and 771 that's very significant. You're talking, I think it's 93 cents and somewhere around there. And then look at this one here, 860, and it fell to 816. All right. So if it fell from 860 to 820, that'd be 40. So 44 cents. And then look at this one today, 855 came down to what? 835, 20 cents. So you got 93 cents, 44 cents, 20 cents. Just thought you might find that interesting. All right. So let's talk about the volume again. I'm just going to briefly hit on this. Get over here, boop, and look at that chart right now, folks. Wow, look at that. Now, the page just refreshed. I do not believe it just was at 838 and jumped to 844. If it did, then you better be buying this right this second. But at any rate, boy, does that look strong. Look at the volume. Quite moderate, but man, oh man, folks, I'm on here at this time of day because when it hit that right there, I got in, I made a few orders and said, man, I just got to jump now and get on this because I think it's getting ready to go. And so that's why I'm here doing a live broadcast at this time. And I hope that we have somebody viewing here. Oh, I guess I've had 4 views, so that's neat. I don't see anybody saying anything over here. And I hope that this is going well. I guess I should really stop this and end the stream, but then again, why should I? At this point, average view duration, okay, 47 seconds. So let's get over here and take another look. All right, we're going to keep watching this, and I'm going to show you something here. We're going to get into some interactive charting. All right, so I think it's important to bring up these little points here. And man, oh man, if you were day trading this stock here lately, man, you'd be making some serious money. I'll give you an example. Oh, there's 10 minutes. And hey, since I'm live, we're not even going to worry about that. If other people want to join in here, people want to call in, that's fine. And if, oh man, look at that chart right there. That is amazing. Give me just a second here. Let's take a look here. All right. I'm just going to do something here briefly, and then I'll be back at you guys. Okay, and boom, there we go. And I wonder if we can do this. Hold on, let's call my friend Chris here. Call Chris Wentz. Alexa, call Chris Wentz. Calling Chris Wentz. All right, we're going to get him on here because this gentleman has a little bit of inside knowledge about SoFi. Howdy, Chris. Hey, we're live right now on YouTube. I thought I'd bring you in on this conversation I'm having because you have a little bit of personal experience with SoFi. Haven't you done a little work with them here recently in the last year or so?
Yeah, they became my main bank for my main paycheck. I get
Oh,
paid up to 2 days early. So,
oh, that's nice. That's nice. So I'm just kind of curious. We're here live on YouTube. We've got a few people that are tuning in to us. And since you had kind of an insider's aspect and viewpoint, because you actually been using some of their services, and what is it that you think you like the most about SoFi? And what was it that you attracted you to them in the first place, I guess?
well, I was looking for different banks at the time, and it was the one that offered bonuses for just signing up. I mean, they don't do that anymore, but back then you got a bonus just for signing up. I
Uh,
got $150 bonus for switching my one paycheck over there. They gave me $150 free.
Well, that's nice of them,
So
giving away money. Let me ask you another question. Now, have you been happy with their services? Is it easy for customer service? Have you ever had to talk to them?
nope, never had to talk to customer service, so you can easily do everything from their app.
Ah, yeah, and that is the one big attraction that I'm guessing a lot of people are attracted to is the app is kind of a one-stop shop. And so anyway, well, it's good to hear that from someone who knows from the inside. And so at this stage of the game, would you say, yes, I would recommend SoFi for a financial for their financial services. And oh, I want to ask you before I even go there, have you seen their latest commercial? Did you see their commercial about
Yes, it is
what did you think?
empowering women.
Empowering women. Yeah, what did you think of it? I mean, what were your thoughts? Did you like it or
It's true, but if
sadly
they
true?
it's true, but if they want to corner the market, they're gonna have to have commercials aimed at both sides, not just one gender.
Oh no, yes, and I agree 100%, but I think it's important for them to bring out the point. And there's a misconception out there, because of the
Yeah, it's hard
wealthiest
to say it
people
when
in the
you're sick.
world like Bill Gates and you got people like, you've got
But
all
there
these
are also people.
Bezos and all these other men
Okay,
that get
well,
highlighted and the women are ignored. So I think it's important.
I don't know. There's one woman that's never been ignored. Her name is Oprah, and she's quite rich.
Well, that's true, obviously. I mean, there's exceptions. There's exceptions. But as a general rule, we all know that in the financial world, you hear names like Warren Buffett and, Bill
Bill
Gates
Gates.
and others that are, philanthropists and that are very, very wealthy. And 9 times out of 10, they're men and the women just kind of get overlooked. But as that commercial points out, they are the ones that really know how to invest and hold their line, and their profit return and their gains have been the record proves that they do better than men do because I guess the commercial or whatever the viewpoint is that women just hold their positions longer, they have more conviction. And so anyway, I'm not saying whether or not that's true, but the facts of
It's true.
yeah, I mean the facts prove themselves. The proof is in the pudding, they say. So anyway, let's see if we've got anybody here that's joined and wants to talk to us at all. Looking down here at our stream, and Chris, over on your end, I've never done this before. This is actually my first live stream, and so I'm curious. Can you go onto your YouTube over there and actually see me? I mean, I think you're subscribed to my channel, so are you on your computer or not?
No, I'm getting my car inspected right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. I was just curious. I was wondering if I've asked.
I'll probably be home in about 10 minutes. So
Okay.
put
Well,
we'll have to put it in.
I've been streaming now for about 18 minutes or so, and it says that I've had 5 views on here. I don't know whether or not we're going to retain anybody, but oh my goodness, the stock is going, man. Look at the price. It's at $8.52 now. And folks, when I first came on, you saw where it was, I believe around 8.45. And so we've got something happening here. SoFi is starting to take off, Chris. We got it at up almost 4%. The volume is very, very good.
It's been
And
going up about 4% a day.
yes, this is looking start. And you know what? Interesting. After all of these downgrades, and I've mentioned this lately, that the downgrade bus has been full of passengers lately. And I thought it was interesting that the last 3 downgrades, they said a trio of analysts has downgraded SoFi. And I can go over here to let's go to their summary page and go down here where it said that.
Yeah, I
And
don't believe those analysts.
yes, 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 yes. All the analysts saying bad, bad, bad. And, if we go back to months back, you'll see that there it is. Let's see if I'm going to find it here in a minute on this page. But
They're just
anyway,
downgrading so they can short the stock and make a fortune, and then as soon as it's done being shorted, it's going to take off, and
well,
people who aren't will lose out.
that's certainly the opinion of many, and not that it's necessarily a fact because there are no ways to prove these things. But some people do definitely believe
And
that.
that's
There's
what
no
most
doubt
people.
about it, and we just kind of have to be careful that when I first came on with my first updates about SoFi and so forth. I was very harsh about the manipulation I was saying and blatantly just calling it that. But the bottom line is that I've kind of backed off on that now. And basically, what I just say is the price dropped to that, and it went up to that. And what was the cause of it? Who knows? But look at this. 2 months ago, I'm showing everybody now on my screen, down 20% after excellent earnings. And
Well, that's
folks,
what you got,
yeah,
brother.
yeah, that was 2 months ago. Now, Chris, I don't want to keep you any longer. I just wanted to quickly touch base with you, get some insight about what made you switch over, how satisfied you are with the company. I don't need to keep you here, but thank you for getting in on this. I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else who might be tuning in appreciates your input and your insider knowledge. But yeah,
Mhm.
I thank you again, and I guess I'm going to let you go. If you have anything else you want to add right now or say.
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a great day, Chris, and thanks for helping me out. Bye bye now. All right, so we're gonna hang up that call, and that was good information, knowing about their services and the one-stop shop that they offer. And let's get back over here now. And I got one person asking me. Very good. All right, let's see here. Now, let's get back up here to the top. And boy, howdy, I think this is really a nice time to be on here live right now. And if you're tuning in and came over, well, you can see what's happening. A big surprise, huh? What a surprise. And all of those people way back when, on it was the 15th of May, that thought that David Ciaffarini, this gentleman here who downgraded SoFi's price on the 15th, look at his success rate over here. And this guy made the SoFi price on that day drop from $5.22 to $4.45. 20, well, and even before that, if you go back to what I just showed you there, the 20% fall on the revenues on beating the street. Again, here's what it does every time. It beats the street, folks. So this is no surprise. And their revenue in 4 years ago went from 442 million to 565 million in 2020. Here comes COVID down the pipe, and then what we got? A revenue increase to 977.3 million. And right here, you can see their earnings was negative, but look, it's improving down here on 2022, and their revenue is still just climbing. And this is again while banks all over are closing doors, some of them. So anyway, let's get back over here. Man, I really, really like this. You know what? I thank you for letting me kind of test the waters here with my first live stream. Uh, I think hopefully everything's good. And hey, all right, we got rolling dubs. All right. And hey, how about SoFi? I appreciate you logging in here and putting some information up. And welcome to this stream. I am grateful for you pulling in here and checking things out with me. And I'm just showing people the facts. And right now, I'm showing them that this gentleman here on the 15th who gave the downgrade that affected the price so negatively. And if you want to look at this chart, let's take a look at this chart and go to the 6 month chart and see what happened when that guy made that downgrade. And you can see this big red candlestick. First of all, here's what happened on the first when they beat the earnings. They slaughtered the earnings, and look at that drop after they were gains were great, beat the street. Look at the drop, and I mean this is where I actually came in before. I got in about right here, 477, I think is where I started in on this, and I was encouraging people at that time. I said, "There's no reason for this to be down this much, people. There's something. There's either people just want in lower, and that's what I appeared." And again, I was saying I was being kind of bashing the what I call manipulation. But let's just say from now on, I'm not going to be saying that. It's just that's how far it fell for whatever reason after the earnings beat the street. Not that anybody could have been caught off guard by that and went, man, I better get on this company with 4 quarters in a row and 4 years of growth. And they just maybe, but I don't know. So, but look at here. So after this, it started to improve after that earnings call beat the street again, and then it started improving. But then there's the 15th, and you can see the 15th, and I showed everybody what happened on that date is a downgrade. And from this gentleman right here, and on based on this guy's performance record, and look over here what this says: 97 out of 280 transactions he made a profit. Huh? How could it be possible? And look at his star rating over here. He has a tip. You can't even see it. I'll zoom in over here. Look at that. Folks, and this analyst did that to the SoFi price. They might have had some help from friends that might have been short selling it. But too bad for them if they did when it was at that price, because the price was 522 before his little uh, downgrade, and then the price went to $4.45 on that day. 4.45 on this guy's advice and downgrade. And so if you don't believe that, I'm going to come over here and show you right here. Go down here to May the 15th. Look at the price the day before, hit a high of 522, and then and this is on a Monday morning. Look at that open, 468, 445 for the low right there. But folks, that's when I popped on. Again, watch my videos, go back, you'll see the date. And I said, people, you better not believe this guy. And some people didn't. They started buying it, and by the end of the day, it had come off of that low. As a matter of fact, if you go back to that date again, and where did it close? Hit 445, closed at 477, because a lot of people realized, dang, I should have checked into this guy's record, because he can't pick winners. He's picked a bunch of losers. So so you can see what happened to the price shortly after this. You just look at it. Look at the volume over here starting to increase. Look at it going up. Look at the price climbing, climbing, climbing. There's nothing they can do to stop it. And let me show you something, folks. Look at these lows. Up, 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 up. One pullback, then up, 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 up. There was, I counted it, 15 out of 18 days with a new higher low. 15 out of 18. And by the way, one of those days, the price only fell by 1 penny. So, you're talking about massive amount of volume over here on the right, and you've got an increase all the way up to the high of 1023. Well, now at this point in time, at 1023, guess what came out? It says down here, and I'm going to hit Control F and hit Trio, just in case you didn't know you could do that. And there it is right there. Highlights. SoFi falls as trio of bullish analysts 11 days ago. Guess what day that was? On a Friday again. They came out guns ablazing. And again, I try to avoid from saying manipulation or anything, but they certainly did have an effect. And then they piled on with another one with a downgrade, and these downgrades kept coming. But let me tell you something about these downgrades. As I mentioned in my last one of the Cathie Wood coming in, you got all these analysts saying down, down, down. And you think Cathie Wood has a few analysts of her own? You think that might have a differing opinion? Maybe their opinion is like that of this gentleman here. His name is Andrew Jeffrey, who just on Friday, I believe it was, said that the price of the SoFi stock was undervalued, and he raised his target. And look at his success rate, people. Look at his average return. This gentleman here, he raises the price target from $8 to 11. Okay, and look at his stars over here. Look at his analysis compared to this gentleman that made the price fall from 522 to 445. Does that make you mad? That'd make me mad, because I was sitting on SoFi stock already. I had already owned about 200 shares, around $9 or so, and when that happened and that guy made that fall that far, yeah, I was a little upset. And that's when I started. Hey, you know what? That's when I started this channel. That gentleman right there, I guess we should all thank him that I started broadcasting and putting up videos about SoFi when the price was at 445. And by the way, 3 weeks later, it was at, you know what his target price was? $2.50, people, this guy. And guess where it was? We saw 3 weeks later, it was at $10.23. And by the way, these other three analysts, the one of them was from Oppenheimer, and the other one that was from Piper and Sons and Bank of America. All of those had been upgrading SoFi prior. weeks. Oh, a couple of them only just on June the 7th. One of them, the last one, Oppenheimer, had raised the target price, gave all these reasons why it was going to go up as much as 62. Well, it went up 100%. That didn't make them look too good or too smart. So I think there came the downgrades because they can't have their estimates at $8 or $9. Prices over 10. Oh, oh, Chris is calling me back on my phone now, but hold on, let me just see what he says and we'll just be brief. Yeah, man. No, no, I that was before, and you called me, so thank you. But let me let you go because I want to get back to what I'm showing people here on this. Oh, you're home. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, I can't talk to you on this phone where people can hear you because I had you over my Alexa. That's why the volume is much better. But um, I guess what I was going to do is have you look on YouTube and see if I'm up there. But hey, I got some people that are starting to say stuff over here on the chat bar. We got rolling dudes. Hi, rolling dubs. I said, duh. Hey, man. Welcome, 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 and hey, I'm so glad that you came in here and gave me a little thumbs up or whatever, popped in. I'm still hopefully streaming here, and everybody's able to see it. But that's what you're calling for. You're telling me, yes, I'm looking at you right now. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just got home.
Oh,
I'm getting on right now to see if you're there.
all righty then. Okay. Well, let's get back over here to Sofi and what's it doing? Oh man, oh man. Yeah. Well, I think that it's pretty obvious that this guy who was estimating the price at $2.50, he kind of missed the mark. And so anyway, right now it's just
Astronomically off.
yeah, he was astronomically off. Exactly. Yes. Well, if you want to stay on with me, that's fine. But I'm going to call you back on Alexa so everyone can hear what you're saying. All right.
Okay, no problem.
All right. We'll call you back in about 2 or 3 minutes after you're logged on.
Okay.
All right. See you. See you. All right, folks. Well, so I'm showing you all of these things because I think it's important to know that when you see these downgrades from someone you don't know who they are and the price drops, 20%, that you might want to take a look at some of their credentials and see what their return rate has been. And you can see out of 280 transactions, 97 correct picks. Success rate is horrible versus this gentleman here who just gave his, and his is much, much higher. So I think that you'll probably be able to benefit from this information. Hopefully you do, and that you'll give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm guessing that those of you that are over here and looking right now are already subscribed, and you might have had that notification bell clicked on, so you got a notification that I came up live. So right now, don't have a lot of viewers, but I'm sure glad to be here. Uh, yep, and for those of you who can't see that's being said, perhaps if you don't have this on your chat availability, it's Roland Dubes just made a comment saying, "I definitely believe they manipulate the markets, and we just have to learn the patterns." Uh, but for long-term portfolios, just keep buying the dips and not worry about the red days. And I've been telling people this all along. And actually, what I say is I tell them that when you get into a position, you go in small and moderate. And for example, if you've got maybe $10,000 to play with, or even 1,000 or 500, you're starting small with about 10%, 15, and if the price starts to go up, then hey, then you just keep on nibbling at it. But another thing you can do is once you've established a core position, what you're holding in your portfolio, let's say you've got 500 shares or whatever, then I've been day trading about 15 to 20% of my portfolio. I'd actually day trade. So I'm not crazy. I mean, I look at these charts. I can see what's going on the 5-day charts. I mean, it's crazy. If you were to look back over the last week, let's go back here to the date right now is the 27th. So we're going to go back to the 17th or so, 16th, and look at these differences in prices. You've got a high of 918. Well, that's a substantial high. You can make a lot of money, and by looking at these charts, if you look at the 5 days, you can see that every single day you're making a ton of money if you're buying here near the close and then selling it in the mornings. I mean, the best thing to be doing is getting it every single morning and at lunch. I like to buy it at 9:45 to 10, and at lunchtime. End of lunchtime is my favorite times to get in. And this is because you can see the pattern every single day. You would have been crazy not to be taking advantage of these swings from 974 to 911, and then on this swing right here. I mean, just think if you bought down here at this price, all the way down here to 904 or whatever, or even lower, I think it was. If you bought down here and you're at, where's the price? 905. You can see it over there on in the black box, 904. And then you sold it in the mid afternoon at 952. You made 50 cents a share. I mean, that's a lot. If you've got 100 shares, it's $50, right? And if you got 1,000 shares, it's 500. So if you could do this every day, look at this. Look at this price difference, 957. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, people. That you're selling here in the morning at 957, and then you're buying 2 hours later at 854. I mean, you're talking $1 difference, and if you've got 1,000 shares, it's $1,000 in your pocket. And so, I mean, you'd have to be, holding 5,000 shares to trade 1,000 today. But whatever, if you've got that kind of funding, you should be taking advantage of this. You definitely should. And then look at this again on Friday. Look at the price there, 861, took it all the way down here 771, a 90-cent move. A 90-cent move. I mean, man, folks, just look at this. If you were to multiply this out, if you were to do this every day on this stock, you'd be making if you had 500 shares that you were swinging, you'd make $445 a day. And that would translate into $2,225 a week, 115,000 a year trading SoFi on these swinging numbers. And so, anyway, that's just hypothetical, but I'm just saying. And then let's look at Kathy Wood. How's she doing? She bought 283,996 shares. I don't know if she got it at the low that day on Friday when they got it down to 771 the day she came in. But let's just say that she got in somewhere around 780 even, just to say that. She didn't get in the very low, 780. If she did, it would have cost her 2,215,168. Okay. And now that the price has gone up, and I did this since the price was at 830, it's actually 20 cents more. So she would have made 141,998 already off of her buys, and that was factoring a price of $8.30. So she's made a lot more now. And if you look at this chart here and see what's going on, even though there's a bit of a pullback, right now you can see it's coming right back here to this 10-day average line. So sometimes people wonder about strength in a stock. How can they tell if it's strong right now or if it's actually not a time to get in? Well, one of the things I like to show people, and this is fairly simple, is you look up here at this price when it hit 859 and then it fell all the way to 818. All right, 859, 818. I could do that in my head, but I'm going to make it easy and perfectly correct. 859 minus 8.18. Some of you already know the answer. It's 41-cent drop. Then, how about this next drop that was significant, if you want to call it that? 831 to 820, an 11. So we got a 41-cent drop, an 11-cent drop. Where's the drop here? 855, 835, 20-cent drop, a little stronger pullback. But then this last one, 857, hits the 10-day moving average, 848, an 11-cent drop. And I'm showing you this because if you're a day trader, you look for these patterns, these 10, 11, whatever the price is, because this is obviously where you're putting in your little sells, and this is where you're putting in your buys, 10 cents lower. If they fill here, or 9 cents, right now while the pattern's up. And another thing you can do is, and you might not know this, so I'll show you folks right now. If you go over here on the Yahoo, and some people don't even know how to get into this interactive chart, you click right on the chart like that. Left click on it, boom, here comes the interactive chart. All right. And then up to here, you can choose the term you want: 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, 3 month. You can choose the interval if you want a 5 minute interval, a 1 minute interval. And on the 1 day chart, I like to use the 1 minute interval, and that way you can really keep on track of it. But anyway, what I want to get at here is that this is what I want to show you about this chart. when I have these days set up, the indicators can be set up, all these different colored lines, by going over to here, clicking on indicators, click on moving average. You can change the period. You can make, for example, the 10-day, and I have mine purple. You click on this, you can make it purple. So and that's what I do. And then you can go to the 50-day and you can make it a different color, black, whatever. I have my 50-day at green. I have my 10-day at purple. I have a blue at 45 days, and I have a gold at 50 days. And so why I have a blue at 45 days and 50-day at gold is because this is the 200-day down here, the green one. I apologize, 200-day. But just look at the grade here and look at the increase in the pitch. Okay, you see that? Here's the pitch here. Oh, here's the pitch increasing. But even more importantly, this slightly shorter term that I'm showing you here, this 45-day term versus this gold 50-day. Well, this is an indicator, folks. This is a little bit shorter term than this, and this gives you an idea of the trend. And so right now, it's very obvious where this is trending, if you ask me. Now, could it drop from here? Yeah, they don't want to see it bounce off this line and go up, so they might come at it very hard. Who's they? I don't know. I'm just saying, let's not say they might and anybody's doing anything. Let's just say it could fall. Okay? It could fall. But if it starts to pull off of this line and this gap here increases people, then we're going to see something happen this afternoon. And why I'm on here live right now, because I came on at what time was it? Yeah, maybe 20 minutes ago, because I saw what was happening here. And this shape you see right here, and then this flat area, cup and handle. Yep. So I saw this cup and handle forming, and I said, man, I'm going to come on and I'm going to show people that I think now's the time to buy. And of course, if you've watched any of my past videos, I'm always coming on at critical points on charts when I think something's about to happen. And as you can see, every single time virtually something does happen of significance after this points that I'm showing. Sometimes it drops right off, as can happen at these points of convergence. But many times, especially if the volume is good, we see this spike. And so I'm going to pull in here now and look here. And I'm on the 1-day term. Let's refresh the page right now. And I want to show you these candlesticks down here. And I hope you're enjoying this. And let's see if we got anybody else. Ah, right. We got a DD Files in here. Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, all right. And Chris, hey, welcome, Chris. Thank you for letting me know that the live chat is working. And let's give him a call. Oh, hey, Alexa, call Chris Wentz. And see, see if he's thought of anything else he wants to interject while we're going live here. And one of these times I'm going to get him on the screen so you can see, we're going to figure out how to get him added in here on the screen, and we'll do a multiple. And I've got some other people. We actually call ourselves the Sofi Knights. Yes, sir. All right. We got you, and we're recording. And I hope I'm not creating a loop here by doing this. I hope it's okay.
I'm behind right now. So.
All right. Can you hear yourself now on the channel that you're talking? Are you hearing?
No, still catching up to you.
All right. Yeah, there's going to be a delay. I believe I have a 10-second delay on this or something in case somebody says something that I need to get off of there. But it seems as though everybody is being very good and cordial. Yeah, live chat is working. I see that, and that's very good.
I
We,
shared you to Facebook.
oh,
Like 4,000 people on there. So.
goodness gracious. Well, I want to show people a little bit of history on what's been going on with this stock going back to day one, and we'll do a quick recap for anybody that didn't happen to know or know what happened to this stock over the term. And so it's been an incredible series of weeks here with all kinds of downgrades by people saying that it was not worth what it was, what it was, and so forth. And I just showed everybody here the gentleman on the 15th when the price fell majorly, was this gentleman here. And look at his track record, his success rate, his average return. 97 out of 280 transactions, this guy was, it's just horrible. And how in the world someone like this gentleman right here can affect the price of SoFi in such a negative way and make it hit I believe the 52-week low was $4.45 based on this analyst and his prediction, who is correct 97 out of 280 times. 27% is what I came up with. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it's gone down lower since his SoFi pick, I would imagine, because since he aimed at $2.50 for his target, the price was over quadruple that. So perhaps another field of work would be applicable or appropriate. But anyway, so yeah, I'm looking at the chart here. What's that, Chris?
I'm still behind home.
All right. Well, and boy, does this look like a sign of strength. All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
It is a 10-second delay.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Well, I think we're going to see even more strength. And I want you to notice, people, look over here. It says people also watch. These are people that are watching and following SoFi are also involved in these stocks you see over here, and you can see how they're doing. So I would suggest you take a look at these as well as possible good plays. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not a financial advisor. I am just someone who believes that this is a great time to be coming in on an innovative company like SoFi. And let me tell you what's going to happen once this moratorium has ended and the payments start coming back in, which has obviously negatively affected SoFi and hurt them a little bit on their revenues. But just think, look at their earnings without all that money coming in. Look at their revenue without that money coming in from all the folks that have loans to them for student loans. But here's the stress point I wanted to stress to you. I've already heard the CEO and Anthony Noto, who, by the way, owns over 6.4 million shares of his own stock because that's how much he believes in it, people. But Anthony and his wife even owns shares. He has disclosed, I think she bought something like 277,000 shares some time ago, and I think her average price was around 654 a share. So congratulations to her. And she's just proof again of the commercial that SoFi just put on. Their advertisement is fantastic. Look it up on YouTube. Put SoFi new advertisement women, and you will, I think, be very impressed with what they've pointed out. And that is that although men are the ones who are always highlighted as some of the wealthiest people in the world, and you've got these great investors who are the benchmark, you've got Warren Buffett, and you've got Jeff Bezos, and you got, or is it Steve? Anyway, it's you got Bill Gates and all these other headliners. But the truth of the matter is, and they point this out, is that the women of our society are much better investors over the long run, and they've proved that they know how to invest and make better returns than men do. It's history proves it. So this is why I think that this commercial is so good, because not only is it going to prove what the facts are um, and raise the veil of or belief that people have that men are the great power players, but many women, for example Kathy Wood, have done extremely well and can be trusted in their choices, and her buying in on SoFi. um, Kind of interesting to see. I did a parallel to PLTR once. Kathy Wood bought into PLTR. The price, by the way, when she came in initially, was actually on that day, the 17th of May, where the price was 976, I believe, for a low, and it might have been a little lower, but she came in, and then look at it. It went all the way up within a few weeks to $17, a 70% increase. And that's something that I was looking for to happen. And I showed people in the video that I did that PLTR, well, I'll go ahead and do it now. I don't care. Let's get over. Oh, yeah, I like what Carnival's doing today. Very good. Wow. And yesterday, after their earnings, they were bashed. And I picked up more. Thank goodness. That's beautiful. Let's go on over here, though. Let's look at PLTR. Okay. And why I want to do this is because, as I said, I know Kathy Wood came in, and it's just continuing to climb. The chart looks good today. But let's go down here to May the 17th, and you can see where the price was the day before. The price was, see, I thought it was May 7th. Yeah, here it is, May 17th. Yeah. And you can see the price here was actually lower a little bit before, a 902, but this is the date that she made her play. And the low was 946, ended up closing at 1025. Now, I don't know when she came in, but I think it was after hours. But here's what I want to point out. Kathy Wood came in. Look at the average volumes here. The next day on the 18th, look at the volume increase. And I was calling for possibly this to happen with SoFi. Well, much to my surprise, that didn't happen at all. And I was like, huh, it actually, the volume was much, much lower. And so, no big deal. When it hit the low yesterday, bought some more. And that's what I like to do on this stock every day is pick it up on the dips. And that's what I tell you. Now, look here. Look at this chart now. We're going to get in here and we're going to zoom in. And we're going to refresh the page. And we're going to take a look at what's happening with it now. And what I see happening with it was what I've been calling for all along. Look at this lovely chart. Now, some people say, Tyler, you are crazy if you're calling for a $20 to $30 price. But let's do something here. I'm going to go to the 1 year chart, and there's a very, very good reason that I want to do that.
I have about the same shares of that one guy in the chat,
All
and I
right.
know you've got more shares than that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting on a boatload, and I piled in when it came down here to the 445 range. My lowest was 449, I think, but not bad. And that's where I
I
was
know you
telling
helped
people to
me
buy.
some of that low range too.
What?
I said I know you helped me buy some of the low range too.
Oh yeah, we're digging it, man. So let's just do this.
Don't remember where I got in at, but I got in low.
I know you did below $5. So let's go over here. What I wanted to show people was this 1 year chart. Look at the price up here, folks. A year, what was this? Oh, this is in 2021, but this is still relative. I think it's important to note. Going back to the history of the trading on this stock, you can see where it came out of the gate, where it went up to. But my point here is this is what I find, and the reason I say I think this could go up so far so fast. Because right here, if you compare the volume over here on the from the first of January or so 11th or whatever, if you compare this volume and this move, and you can see the price again is over here was around $18. It went up to 25, very little volume, falls all the way back down to 15, and then look at this little bit of volume that made this price on SoFi jump from 1460 something all the way back up to 22 something. This is minuscule volume. And even here, when it was down here and it hit the price of 1372, you can see over there the black box 1372. Look where it went. But look at the volume compared to now. Jump over here on the what the heck? Look at this volume. Look at it. All right. So this is why on a little bit of volume that you can't even see the candlesticks over here that makes the price jump from 14 to $22 or whatever it hit there, 22.70 something. What could it do on this kind of volume that you're seeing over here? And my point, I pointed this out to people in the past in some of my first videos, and why I thought it was going to turn around so much because look at all this volume. Look where the price is, $12. These people are, I believe, shorters, hedge funds coming in, pushing it down. I've said this, and again, I could be wrong. It just could be people didn't see the value, and it just was selling off, and there's no proof that their business model was going to work. But what's interesting about this is all during the drops and drops and drops. What's the price doing? I showed you. Go back over here to the summary. What are the revenues? What are the earnings? They're going, they're going ballistic. It's so contraire to what we're seeing and what we should be seeing. So this is what I'm showing you this for. I want to thank all of you who've been looking at my SoFi videos. Let's go back here. You can see I started putting them out. That was 1 month ago. You know where the price was. These are when I came in, man. I was so bummed out because I owned it, and then somebody came on with a rating like this. made the price fall. And then after that great earnings report, again, a 20% drop. And yeah, it can make somebody want to become a defender of your position. And that's exactly what I decided to do. I decided that it was time to make some money. Simple as that. And that ringing of the cash register is exactly what has happened since the time that you see on May the 15th, when the price was slaughtered down to the low that it's lowest it's ever been. But I want you to look very closely at all of these green candlesticks and the massive increase in volume when this thing took off compared to what happened with it back here when it made these kinds of moves on that volume there. And if that doesn't make sense to you folks, uh, okay, I don't know what else to tell you. But look at all this. Banks, in the meantime, what happened during this past year with two banks, big banks folding? Another one had to be saved, or it would have shut its doors. And look at this SoFi, something that just can't be. I call it a steamroller, and it's rolling uphill. And some people say, when something's falling and crashing, it's an avalanche. Well, I call this an upalanche. That's what they got going on. And so anyway, yeah, congratulations, Kathy Wood. I appreciate it, and I'm glad I'm saying your name right now. Always will, but she rakes in another, 150,000 or whatever more. So anyway, and I'm glad that she decided to come on, because look at all this attention and look at what's happening here. And I'm going to point out again, look at that blue 45-day average line versus that gold 50-day. This is a shorter term. Now, looking at the five-day chart, just a second, Chris. People might get the impression, look at the 200-day though on the 5-day. Well, but let's move it to the 6-month chart and look at the 200-day. So go up here. Huh. A different perspective. Always helps to get a different perspective. Go ahead, Chris.
Often these financial people that are really good with the market have their own YouTube pages. An
Uh,
example, yourself.
yep,
All
yep.
right. Now, is there a chance that Kathy Woods would have a YouTube page?
No, I don't think she does. I think she may have a Twitter or Facebook, but and again, you just said the same thing I did, Kathy Woods. It actually is Kathy Wood, and I had to apologize for my first initial when she first came in. I had it in the title, Kathy Wood, and I had it in the description, Kathy Wood, but for whatever reason in my mind, I kept saying Kathy Woods, and I felt so bad, and I've corrected it
Yeah.
now. And like I said, if I hadn't made the correction and say it correctly in my next video, that wouldn't have been prudent of me, would it? So anyway, all right. So here we are. And thank you for pointing that out, Chris. Everything that we point out here is valuable information. Let's see if anybody's got anything in the chat that they've added that they want to that they've said that I'm not looking at. We're just checking over here. And not a whole bunch right now, but hey, I want to just thank everyone who's been, like I said, looking at my past videos, and I hope you took I hope you took advantage of those videos. And
I just did so I mean not just do a Google but just YouTube her name and there's a video from about 9 days ago. Time to buy this stock.
oh yeah, and 9 days ago, I thought it was, and today I think it is. And I started 2 months ago, or about a month and a half ago, saying it was time to buy this stock, and I'm hoping that many of you did. Now I want you to know that not only do I do videos on financial stuff, but I put up little helpful things. Here you can see I put up a short on where the cheapest gas is in Michigan, because I think it's important for people to know where they can drive over a few miles and get gas, sometimes 50, 60 cents less than others. This price of 321.9 that I found over in Owasso, that price was 40 cents less than us 15 miles away. 15 miles away, 40-cent difference in price. That really hurts you in the wallet when you're filling up over here, when you could go over there and save a bunch. So here I show them how to tomato tips. Here I just put up an interesting video about a cool wasp nest, and but here I'm doing SoFi shorts, and because some of the people had said, man, your videos are too long and you can't retain people. You know what? I understand that, But there's so much to say about this stock. And as far as that goes, people who don't want to hear anymore, when they can just hit the stop button, they can just move on, swipe away or whatever. But yeah, I make them long because people, like I said, let's let them decide. Let them be the ones who choose how long they want to stay in and listen to one of my informative videos. And maybe there's a lot of them where I kind of go over the things again, like the revenues and the earnings and stuff. But there's new people every day that are coming over and want information on this stock. So I go over these things again just to show them and tell them about the owner, the CEO. I mean, having Anthony Noto having so many shares of this company, and he was buying on the 15th, he was buying the 17th, he was buying all along those dates. I'm not kidding you, man. This guy was buying. Let me close this here and let's go over here. Boom. Let's go to Google. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm already there, so I'm just going to put in here Anthony. Oh, you're killing me here. Yep, I used Google to figure out how to do this today, and I'm up live finally. So let's try this. We're going to put in CEO of Sofi and Anthony Noto and buying Sofi. Let's see what that pulls up. And look at, as you go down here, it's amazing at all these dates that this gentleman, as you roll down here, look here, I don't know when the date is because they don't have a doggone date on that one, but there he bought $995,000 worth. Here he bought 1,659,000 shares, $7 million worth. Here he bought five separately, purchased 5 million in company shares December 15th. May 26th, he claims that he gets what it's like to, let's see here. Here we go. 68 million. Oh, goodness gracious. Owns about 1.25 shares of Twitter. Oh, Anthony. Oh, I guess he bought Twitter too. But anyway, I know that he was buying SoFi here, estimated 105.44 million. But anyway, and if you put in here, you keep going. This is May the 15th. I told you he bought a total of $390,000 worth. May 4th and 5th purchased 80,000. I mean, golly. So you see that every time they come at this thing, he just buys. Here again, May the 5th, 50,000 shares. I mean, goodness gracious. And I got news for you. It's not just him buying this. Let's put in here, boop, Anthony Noto's wife buying SoFi. Huh, look at that. 33,259 shares. I said it a lot more earlier, but that's the correct amount. And you can see 217,573. That was the total amount. Let's see. 217,573 divided by 33259, and when her price was 654 a share. I think she's making a little money too today, just like you are if you were buying into this at $4.50 a month ago when I was telling folks about it. And as you can see right here, the volume's still very, very low, but this is steadily moving up. It's a very good time, I think, to be coming in on SoFi. And I think
So,
that we're going to see, yeah, yep.
so SoFi is one of the stocks that she chose for the people who for a little bit of a more affordable stock. She's also recommending Nvidia, but Nvidia is at $410 a share,
Oh,
and is set to go up because AI is the way of the future, and AI stocks are supposed to be going to be bigger than Bitcoin. So I want your thoughts on that.
well, my thoughts are if if you look back over the track record of Kathy Wood and, for example, PLTR, go look at it today, and I just was showing it. This is the stock she got in below $10. She's up 40%. And so I'm just going to kind of follow the footsteps of someone
She got
who's very
she
wealthy
got
and successful in life.
not
And,
days ago.
and we
Nvidia's
already
four
know.
she was then, but Nvidia's at $410 and up 1% today. It just keeps going.
Yep. So once again, does she have any influence on a price? Well, I think she did. When you go back here and you look at the date that she came in, and it was May 17th, the volume was 63 million. And by the way, you can see where it closed on the 17th when she came in. It closed at 10:20. Hold on. They closed at 10:25, opened the next day at 10:46, and went to a high of 1181, and then 1241, 1342, 1415. I mean, folks, you know, yeah, so where's this going to go? Following in those types of footsteps? Well, it didn't initially because we didn't see a pop yesterday morning at the open like I was expecting. We didn't see massive volume like I was hoping to see. But maybe those people are holding off and going, we don't want to make it too obvious. And so a nice little trickle up would be better. So I like it anyway. I like it this way. I always prefer a slow and steady increase and climbing slowly because that starts a war of attrition, and when you get that going on, one at a time, one more, every penny that it climbs, one more shorted position gets out, is I believe. And why wouldn't they? Why shouldn't they? I mean, you got, like I said, this gentleman here has got a great success rate, 65%, 12.10%, and he's doing well on his estimates, 5 stars here, and he's given a target price on SoFi of $11, and he did that on Friday, and you saw what happened to the price instead. How my Beamer doing? Not bad. We can't complain. And all right, so let's get over here and see what's going on with this. Oh my goodness, look at this price, folks. It is at 864 now. And I think this thing is going to be a rocket ship. Oh my goodness. We're on it, baby. Look at this thing go. Where's the volume now? 16,885. And folks, here's one thing I want you to pay attention to, the volume down here. Watch the size of the buys. Okay? That's what you need to be looking at here. And the one thing that I love about SoFi stock is that the retail buyers are relentless. They don't let up. They keep buying tiny shares, 2 shares, 5. Look at that, 17 million now. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at it starting to increase. Come on over here, people. The water's fine. Come on in. The water's fine. That's what I have to say. And everybody who bought about 3 weeks ago, I say congratulations. You're doing good. We're having fun, making money. Yes, sir. And Chris, I'm so glad that you came on here to tell us a little bit more for the people that don't know about SoFi and what they're doing and what they're offering. And I do know this is what they're offering. All other banks, FDI insured to only $250,000. SoFi steps up and will insure up to 2 million. Okay, 2 million.
Yeah.
Will that attract some big money holders who don't want to take the risk, like others that had a lot of money in those two banks that just folded out, that just completely lost all of their money, and they didn't have anything but $200,000 in insurance? You think it matters to get 2 million instead of 200,000? Of course it does. So this is another
But
thing that they.
there's a caveat to that, though, Tyler. When you first get your account, if you have to actually sign up for that insurance, and at the start you're only insured up to the normal 250,000. You have to opt into the 2 million.
Okay.
So if you don't opt into it, you're still going. They're only going to cover 250,000.
Very valuable
But
information. So make sure you opt in. Now, there might be an increase or decrease in what your return rate is for opting into that. I don't know, but it's good to know.
yeah,
So,
I read the thing. It's really easy to opt into it from the app. In
okay.
fact, it's one of the first things that they greet you with through email. Opt into this through our app,
All right.
and get into it. I read the terms, and there's no decrease in you getting your money back either.
All right.
The, the only difference in the draw is the interest. So, you know,
Okay. Well, I just wanted to know, and that's good to know. Thanks for telling everybody. So make sure that if you're a big swinger and you want to move your money over to a safer place, then you opt in to the that insurance availability, FDIC, up to $2 million. Now, like I said, you can look into the details of it. I don't know if it's gonna change anything if you're just doing the 250,000 versus the 2 million. I would imagine so. It's just like an insurance policy. If you're gonna get $50,000 worth of coverage, if you're going to get 500,000 or a million, as you gain in the value of their coverage, you're going to pay a higher premium. So I would assume that, but I don't know that for a fact. So look into it, folks, yourselves. And but I hope that you're being able to be heard here. Because can you hear yourself over the speaker? Are you getting enough volume on you?
I was able to earlier.
Okay, all right. Well, I just want you to know that I really appreciate you being over here and helping me present some of this to the people. And I think what we're going to see here, folks, could be an incredible, incredible afternoon run. Because normally, what we see is a pattern. If you've been watching SoFi for some time, is we see a pattern where they have been just coming at this really hard in the morning and then at lunch again. But right now, folks, this just seems to be defying all the past days, and this looks like a pure sign of strength. And look down here too, there's not a massive amount of volume making this move up. I think there's some people coming in though, and right now you can see the volume and watch these size of these buys. Like I said, the retail buyers, they just keep coming at it. They don't stop. And some of these aren't retail buyers coming in here now. You can look at some of the size of some of these buys, and this is one of the things that one of my key phrases: keep your eyes on the size of the buys. That's what I say. So one thing about doing the streaming that I like is that people are allowed to come in, pop in, see what I'm doing, see what I'm saying, uh, and then they can go on their own way, and they just kind of come in, trickle in and out, and that's cool. Leave a comment if you just happen to pop onto this here and are checking things out and why I'm up broadcasting live. I'm broadcasting live because I think today's going to be a breakout day for SoFi. That's just what I think. And I could be completely wrong. I have been in the past. But one thing that I do like seeing is what's going on here across the entire market. Everything nice and green, and look at the Nasdaq going up here. Look at the S&P, and this is what SoFi is a member of, is the S&P. An interesting thing. If you heard about these recent three downgrades last Friday, the reason for their downgrade was the word valuation, and the reason for their downgrade was because the S&P had only been going up in the same 1.5 month term about 7% or so, 7.5%, but this stock was up over 100%. So that's why they gave the recent downgrades, because their perception was, well, first of all, they'd only upgraded from where it was at 5 or 6 to 8. And so once it was over 10, then all of a sudden here come the downgrades, because they all missed the boat. They all missed it. They didn't expect. Just like all of the expectations over here are always too low on this company. Look at over here, estimate, 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 estimate. But look at the reality, 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 reality. They're always beating it. So,
Hey, didn't they beat the street?
yes,
So
they beat the street
then
for that.
that's going to propel them, not maybe
This was what this
not
was. That's
yeah,
what, yeah, that's what Captain Obvious would say. They beat the street now for the fourth time in a row. And Captain Obvious would be going, wait a minute, 20% down on the day that they beat the street. And then and then Captain Obvious would go, and then another 10 or 12% down on a day that this analyst here came out with a downgrade from where it was at $5.22 to $2.50. I'd rather, like I said, trust this guy who on Friday said SoFi was going to be at $11 soon enough. And look at his accuracy and return rate. A little better, isn't it? I think so. Yes, sir. Well, whatever. This is going to be the lunchtime pullback. Just going to start in here at 11:41. This is the typical time. I always like to wait, but I'll wait until 12:48 or 12:55, because it's funny. This record is the same record every single day that they play. But today's a different record. And I'm trying to show people that on this chart right here. Let's go to the 5-day chart. And the reason that today's a different record is because of the drastic drops. And let's even go further. I'm going to show you on the 1 month. And we're going to try to do this on a different day interval. We'll actually try to do 4 hours on 1 month if we can. And yeah, so on a tear, looking good. May the 1st, come out with earnings. Wham! Running back up. The 15th, David Chiaverini comes out with his downgrade. He's got a terrible track record. Price drops. With that 547, it was 551. Wow, this is just unbelievable. But right now, you can see what's going on with these, can't you? Look at the acuteness of these angles, this angle, and compare this to this one here back in February. All right, look at the comparison. But what's the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is. The difference is the price isn't here anymore. It's way the heck up here, right? So, hmm. Well, all I can say is, if I were you, and I'm not you, and I'm not a financial advisor, but looking at this chart right now, seeing the low volume in comparison to the wild volume of over 100 million a day, and look at this steady, slow, stair stepping up, up, up. And what's the energy of the shorters or the attack or the pullbacks? 852 down here to where are we at? 852 dropped to 837. Did this before, but that's only like, you know, 15 cents. 845, 844 down to 832. 12-cent drop. This little piddly drop here. What's this drop? 858, 848. 10-cent drop. What's the strength of this one? 854, 854-cent drop. Here we go. 863. This recent drop, 863. Where did it get to? 856. 7-cent drop. And then on up. You can see where it's going right now. And again, I can't guarantee it, but it sure looks attractive to me. And so I've shown you some very interesting things, hopefully, that you will find that can help you out in your decision making. And as you look here at this chart, you can see it just broke 860 again. And people, I just don't see a way to stop. Look at the volume now, 18,263. And again, look at that. One share was just purchased. One share. Let me tell you another little tip about something here, folks. And this is happening a lot lately, when you see the time they're showing up here delayed, expect the price to be higher. Just saying that. A lot of times you can a lot of times you can see them delaying this 15 to up to 20 minutes, and the price difference can be 7 or 8 cents. So when you start seeing, I'm pointing this out to you, when you start seeing this delay time here versus the real time, watch out. I've seen them delaying this 18 or 20 minutes, and to see whether they're delaying anybody else, I've gone over to my other stocks like PLTR, and I've gone to other ones, and no, they're not delaying them at all. It's right on track with the time, you know. But other times I've seen with SoFi, and don't ask me why, but they just decide to stop keeping track of it, especially when it's going up. Don't know why, but anyway, that's just another little insider's tip for you there. And look at this price, 862. I hope we're on here live right now when this thing just completely explodes like COSM did for me and you, Chris, about a year ago or so. Remember, we were sitting on it around $4 a share, and the next thing you know, it went to 570, and they halted it, and it went to 666 when it opened, and it was gone up to 7, 9. An hour later, it was at 12. 30 minutes later, it was 15. 17. Look it up. Went all the way up to 2301 people in about 2 hours. Don't know why that happened. Still don't know why, but it did. And I think it was a reverse split announcement that they made. And that was when that happened. COSM. Price fell right back down, though. I mean, golly, anybody that bought in up there, I feel sorry for them because within hours, and by the evening, in the after hours, it was back down around $8 or $9. So This is what can happen. And I tell you, because if this SoFi stock really rocket launches, time to get out, people, for, take your profits and be happy. And, but if it rocket launches, it could easily rocket descend. They hit the seal in the atmosphere, and maybe they break apart and tumble back down, because just be careful. Just be careful. Always good. Doesn't hurt at all to, especially if you're 50% up or 100% up. And that day when we went from 4 to 23, you can do the math. 400, 600%. It was amazing. But anyway, the same thing I think could happen with SoFi. And the reason I say that is because to take a look at that 1 year chart and how low the volume was to make these big moves. That's why. And let's get in here and refresh this 1 month chart and see what's going on here. Zoom in a little bit. And let's give you another tip. A lot of people think that when you're in the after hours, you can't keep track of what's going on in Yahoo in the after hours because they stop at 4 o'clock. Let's get in here. Oh, yeah. Look what is happening here. Nice little big green candlestick right there coming in. But yeah, this looks extremely, extremely good. Let's change this to the 1 day interval. There we go. All right. Nice. Well, folks, I'm glad you're over here. You can see this chart. Look at it, breaking 5% up right now. And folks, this is just the very tip of the iceberg. You have seen nothing yet. I'm telling you right now that more and more are going to come aboard. And like I said, this thing is just going to keep going up, in my opinion. And they've just got, oh, and I wanted to mention about the CEO. And one of the things I saw him talking about was in regards to the moratorium ending and payments starting to be made. They're already getting payments. People have already stepped up and started to make payments. They're already doing it. So this is going to probably, I'm guessing, escalate their time frame for their profitability, which they said they expect to be profitable by this fourth quarter. And so do you think this can advance that? I think so. And here's what he said. He said, with these new loans, that student loans that are out there, people can come in, and we know it's going to be harsh on them. That, we know the cost of living is higher and the revenues earnings is lower, and we got inflation going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it easy for these students, and we're going to extend the terms out to something comfortable for them. We'll sit down with them, figure out what they can comfortably fit in their budget, and then we'll do that. And as they advance in life and make more income, get raises and so forth, they can come in, renegotiate again. And so this is why I think we're going to see such an uptick in their business here in the next month or two, is because I think a lot of people are going to come in and take advantage of that and say, man, yeah, let's renegotiate this. Let's get some better interest rates, perhaps. Let's get longer terms. Let's get the payment down to something really comfortable. And that is going to be something I think that will spur the gains for SoFi a lot. So I think I see this as a big opportunity. And one other thing about these downgrades, they always come coincidentally on good news, on the heels of good news for SoFi that could make it break out. Look at the first one. What wasn't a downgrade, but look what happened even on May the 1st after earnings. How come it falls 20%? What's going on with that? You know, and then secondly, after that first review from the David guy from Wedbush, and it dropped, what was going on there? Why did it fall so far? And you got to think about these analysts and their objectives. And so my question is, regarding all of these analysts, do you think it's possible that every single one of them was wrong except for this Andrew Jeffrey? I think it's possible. And I also think that even he's estimating low, because I think once this thing really gets some traction, that it's going to go very quickly and surprise a lot of people. I really do. And and as I said, you don't think before Kathy Wood bought over $2 million worth of SoFi 2 days ago that her analysts weren't looking into it? I think they were. So anyway, yeah, these downgrades. The more downgrades we see, the more downgrades this stock receives, the more it seems to go up, doesn't it? It's defying these downgrades. And as I said, the last three downgrades Coincidentally, those three downgrades were from analysts who just weeks before were upgrading, but they didn't upgrade high enough because the price had been knocked down once David came out. It was around 450 or so, and then to five, and they said, "Well, we think it's worth eight." And then it flew past that. Oh, wait a minute, it's not worth 10.23. We think it's worth still eight. But now that they're actually with their recent downgrades downgraded to higher estimates than their previous upgrades. So they downgraded up. Up? They downgraded up? Yeah, they did. That's the fact. We'll go back and check it. What I'm saying, it's not mythical. It's not, I'm not making stuff up. Leo Longevity joins in. Analysts with negative 47% return should go to work at McDonald's. I heard that. Yeah, might be where he is now, but then again, I don't even know whether they would take him on. He's got a credibility issue. It can't be trusted. So anyway, hey, thank you for that comment. I appreciate it, Lee. I appreciate your tuning in today and checking out what's going on. Don't see a lot of huge viewership right now, but I'm just grateful to have anybody here to watch me show them all this incredible information about this excellent company that everybody's been bashing as of late and saying was not worth what they said. But starting to find out that maybe the analysts for Kathy Wood uh, would be better people to put your money behind. And maybe, as I said in the previous one, instead of hitching your wagon to this horse, that you might want to hitch your wagon to this horse that says that SoFi is going up and going to be at 11 soon. So you be the judge. You can pick whichever one of those two you want to follow. But I think it would be wise to probably pick up into this stock on the heels of Kathy coming aboard, because as I pointed out on PLTR, and let's go to their 1 month chart, and you can see right here that well, we can go back further because I know she came in earlier. Yeah, right about here. This is where Kathy got in. She's no dummy. Look at that platform building. Cup and handle. Boom. Bought it. Up it went. Look at that. And that's not even as high as it was. It was over 17. Here's another thing about Yahoo. I don't know why they do this. You look at these charts, 6 month chart, and you see that right there. You see 1660. They're showing 1660. Somebody didn't know any better might think that was the high, 1660. But let's see. Yeah, that's PLTR. But oh, I don't think so. Let's go down here and see where it really was. 1660. Goodness gracious, has this thing been moving around though? Dang, 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 dang. Look at all that price rise. Uh. Goodness gracious. Yep. Well, what's it showing here? 1679, 1689. Look at that. 1760. 1716. I apologize. 1716. That's what you see, but take a look here. Let's go to the 6 month chart. What are they showing? Oh, that's SoFi. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Let me get back over to PLTR. We got them way over here. Yep. And 1716. Let's go back down here and make sure I'm right, not confusing. Yep. June the 7th, 1716 was the price. Go to the summary page. What are they showing on the chart? And you go to the 6 month. Uh-huh. 1660. Yeah. Don't know why. Just a mystery, I suppose. Oh my goodness. Well, we're back here, SoFi. We're looking at this page here. I brought everybody up to date on the history of everything that's gone on with the stock since the the May the 1st beat the street again and the price dropping, and then the 15th, May the 15th downgrade from that guy there, and then uh, everything else is that has transpired. And you can see the volume is still steadily flowing in. And I love to watch the size of these buys over here. And you see how small some of them are. Look at that. We're at 112,476. And wow, look at this thing, 19,328,326. And you can see right there's 100 shares purchased. So these are retail buyers coming in here. And like I said, there's so many times that I see just smallest amounts. People just buy what they can get of this stock, 5 shares, 10 shares, 12 shares. It's not always massive numbers. Look at that. There was 4 shares someone just bought, 4 at 8.59. And why wouldn't they? Because it only looks to me like it's going to keep climbing here. And the volume, like I said, very moderate at this stage. But I'm glad you're over here. Take a look. Look at all what's going on. And let's go over here. I like to show people something here. And all this is only because of uh, only because of people like you, the viewership and the analytics that I've had lately. And I just want to show you this. And it's because of Sofi, really, because there's so many people that are interested in Sofi. And to give you an idea, in the last, you can see here my increases over the last 28 days. Uh, it says here views 25,006. It says 23,000 more than usual. And guys and gals, this is because of SoFi. There's just so much interested in this. It says watch time 749, and it says performance is 699.3 more hours than usual. So lots of people. Plus 135 subscribers. And hopefully you are one of those people. And if you are, I really say thank you very, very much for doing that. I really do. I appreciate it. I'm very, very grateful. And since I am not monetized yet on YouTube, and I'm getting there, I'm going to get closer every time someone signs up and gives a little subscription. And but once I do become monetized, I am going to use that money in a good way. I'm going to keep promoting more into the channel and try and get a better backdrop so behind me looks nice. I'm no frills. I'm plain Jane. I'm just trying to get my point across here and do it without any distractions. Too much in the background can distract people from the true thing, and that is the stock itself. So that's what I consider to be the most important thing. And I'm not overly concerned about what it looks like over my shoulder. And anyway, so let's see where we're at. Oh, we're coming into the lunchtime now. We're 1 minute till. Shouldn't be a surprise to see any sort of a little pullback because this is the daily routine. But I'm going to tell you right now, if this thing doesn't start falling at 12:01 and starts going the other way, then people, I would definitely say better time to hitch the wagon, and let's join in on this wagon train because I think it's really going to go big, big, big time. So anyway, and people say, "Oh man, he's been saying that now. He's been saying that now." Well, the volume hasn't slowed up very much. Today we're seeing a decrease, but look at the price increase. And this is another thing. Look how small the volume is comparatively. Let's go to the historical. Look how small the volume is today. 20 million shares compared to what we've seen, and even lately. And one of the saddest things is on the day when the volume spiked from, you can see where we were down here. Look at the volume levels. On these days when the volume spikes up, these are attack days. Look at that. It went from down here 17 million, 18, 16 million. Then on May the 1st earnings, 125 million. You don't think that was coordinated by some people that were caught off guard? Said, man, we better get in on this, but get in lower, and dang. So this is again me just talking malarkey, could be completely wrong. But just look at that huge volume increase. And then look at it on the May the 15th under that David Chiravini. Look at it, jumps to almost 4 times, way over, yeah, 3 times anyway. And all on this guy's recommendation with that track record. So sad that so many people fell victim to this. And to imagine how those people felt when only 3 weeks later, SoFi was breaking $10, not 250 where he said it was going to be, over 10 people. So the ones that got in on his advice, yeah, made a little moolah, didn't they? And they made a lot of moolah. They doubled their money because if they sold when it got up to 10, like many would do, once you've doubled, many people tell you take some money off the table. Then you're playing on house money. You can't, zero risk at that point. Really, think about it. All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know that I need to go much longer on this. I do like what I see here at 12:01. We're just going to stay tuned here for just a couple more minutes, and then we'll probably put an end to this. But I am so again grateful to those that have come over here and are watching. And all right, yeah, all right. I like it, Leo. I see what you got there, man. Leo's holding up strong with 5,300 shares, so he's kind of in my league. We're in there together. We both have about the same, so a little more than that, but we're close. And I move around a lot of shares each day and take advantage of these crazy rundowns every single morning. And I'm going to tell you, I don't mind admitting to it that you know I trade 1,000 shares a day in and out. I buy it on the low when they come at it every morning at 9, 30, 9:40. Get it some around 10. I sell it mid afternoon. Then they run it down at the close. Next morning, I buy some right there at the close usually. Yesterday it was 8:20 at the close. Look at it now, 8:60. Goodness gracious. So, anyway, like I said, this is a day trader's dream come true. And the more people come in and the more of a mem status it achieves, the more the swings are going to become more and more radical. We're going to see, I honestly believe, dollar swings within hours once this really starts to make a serious move. And I think it's coming quickly, quicker than people think. And I say that only because of this 1 year chart. And it just looks incredible. And again, for those that might be new tuning in on this 1 year, look how far this thing would move from $15 all the way up here to the $22 range on minuscule, non-visible volume here almost. It's just incredible. And then you look over here in contrast at this volume, folks. This is looking over here and then looking over here. This is like 40 or 50 times the volume that we had back here on these big, big swings. So what is it going to do on this kind of volume is my question. So just wondering, what are your thoughts? Got other people that have put some thoughts over here, and I'm glad to see that. And like I said, Chris, are you still with me? Oh, I think he might have said bye. That's okay. Good deal. Glad to have him here talking about SoFi and why he got involved and why he's invested with them and why he's got his money in their bank. And that's another thing, them achieving this bank status that puts them in. They're getting some market share that starting to maybe step on a few toes, and maybe that's part of the reason that we've seen some of what's been going on lately with all these downgrades, trying to suppress this. And but looks to me like, as usual, people just aren't going for that. Let's look at the 5-day chart. Let's see where we were for a high right here. 870. Well, I'd be looking for that, folks. Watch this closely. We see a break above this price right here, and it's not going to look back as far as I'm concerned. So that's just my call. I could be completely wrong. I have been many times in the past, and but fortunately, the grace of God, I've had better returns than losses over the years, and that stems back from when I first got into the market and go to YouTube and let's go over here. Just go to youtube.com. When I first got into the market was when this happened to me. If you go to YouTube, you can watch and see what happened. I'm not going to say, but I was fortunate. And if you put in Wheel of Fortune, oh, and you put in Amy and Tyler, and there was a guy named Joy on there as well. You'll see me right there, and you'll see how I ended up doing. 15,000 views of this video, and that was in 1999 when I first got in the market. So get on over there and take a look at that, see how I did, and then you'll see why I decided to come into the market after that point in time. And it was Quite an experience. That's all I can say. I actually fell off the stage during the show at one point. I fell backwards off the platform I was on. I didn't get hurt or anything, but anyway, that's it. Let's get back over here and see if anybody else is leaving anything over here for me. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, right now, you see what's going on. Look at that beautiful chart. Oh my gosh. Let's get in here and get to the other chart right on here and zoom in on the 1 day. And because this is going to be nice, I have a feeling. Whoa, look at that. Now, let's pull it in here. See how we just had a brief period of that blue 45-day go under the gold 50-day line? But look right here. Look at it gapping. Look at it starting to gap. Yep, you can see that 10-day where it's headed. Folks, I hope this is valuable information to you. These charts can definitely act as sort of a gauge and it's almost like having a crystal ball sometimes, I think. I don't have one of those. And, when we're not the only ones looking at these charts. Get over here to the 5-day. Others look at these longer terms. See, when you've been in the investing a long time, you don't think short term anymore. You got to think long term. Where's this going to go in the long run? And in case you don't know what this is called, right here, when you have three moving averages, which I have the purple 10-day, let's just say the gold 50-day, and the current price, those three cross the lowest 200-day moving average, which is the longest term, obviously. This right here, when three cross over, that's called a triple upside crossover. If you can find a triple over upside crossover on 1 day charts, they happen fairly frequently if you look at them. Go to a 1 day, but not today. There was a triple right there, and there was a triple at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Look at this since then. And look at the strength. If you could draw a line right here, draw. Let's start about here. Yep. Small gap, bigger gap, bigger gap, bigger gap, bigger gap, bigger gap. Hmm. Bounces right off, bounces off, bounces off, bounces off, bounces off. I love charts. Honestly do. Don't know where I would be without them actually. But man, look at that 5 day. So here's what I'm saying. As I showed you before, 870 is the price. We see that fall. It goes beyond 870. It runs right on up. Never looks back. And as I said 2 days ago, 3 days ago, it was on Friday, when it hit 771, I told on the message board for Yahoo that, my friends, you want to take a picture of if you fill the fill order there, because you're going to be able to show that to your grandchildren. They're not going to believe you 20, 30 years down the line when you're sitting in your wherever you are, and you'll be probably very wealthy if you have a few thousand shares of this at this price, is my opinion. Because I don't see $18. I don't see 28. I don't see 38. This is such a disruptive business, growing so fast, getting so far. Sofi is the buy, and the 1 year chart is the reason why. Because I think this baby is about to fly, and a lot of shorters are gonna cry. Sad to say. Hopefully I think a lot of those shorters. I said this the other day on my video. I think they went long on Friday. They could see the writing on the wall, and they needed to get in. So on Friday, they made their final hurrah right here. You can see what happened. Price was all the way up here to. Let's just get on over here even. 869, and Friday, boom, 771 was the low they showed. But now 90 cents up from that, and I think you guys are all doing pretty well. So congratulations to you all who decided to get in. when I decided to get in, and when many decided to get in, and that was when the earnings, and I'm almost certain, even though I'm only showing you over here the earnings for the last 4 years and the last 4 quarters, their financials revenue going up, but this I believe was 8 quarters in a row that they went up. So they were probably down here and up 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 and up. So anyway, not scared to see this little retraction and revisit to these prices, but you might find this interesting too. After Friday and the BAM attack and the price dropped all the way to 771, where was the low the next day? 814. Where was the low the next day? Well, today, 832. Okay. Look at the high. You can see the day before. You can see where the high was before the triple downgrade. Yep, triple downgrade. People all downgrading to a higher price than their previous upgrade. But I don't think everyone fell for it. I didn't fall for it. I know a lot of people didn't fall for it because on that triple, on the day of the downgrade from Wedbush, David, the price fell about 13%. Then on the day of the triple downgrade from 3 analysts, who, as I already mentioned, had already upgraded the stock, the price, it only fell about 9% that day. So you got one analyst who's horrible, by the way, with a rating like this, who makes it fall, like 12 or 13%. You got 3 analysts pile on, they make it fall 9%. So I think people said, no, I'm not going to go fall for the analyst downgrade because there's another analyst that's actually had on the Friday that the triple came out, the day before, there was an analyst who had called for a price target on Sofi of not 811 but not $11 but $14. $14. He had upgraded. Let's see if we can find who that was. Google. And we're going to go over here. Sofi upgraded to target 14. What day was that on? Let's go see. BTIG. There you go. Look at that. June the 13th. You see? June the 13th. June the 13th. $14. Wonder what kind of rating this person has. Let's dig into it. Got some time? Nothing better to do? You might want to know. I know I want to know. Why won't it show me? Here we go. Lance Jesseron says $14. Day before they called for downgrade, triple downgrade. Let's copy this. Let's go see how he fares, shall we? Uh-huh. Paste. How's he doing? How did he do? What does he know? Well, at least he's got 2 stars. Success rate isn't very good. But look at that. The other one, David, you can see him. At least he's a little closer. But again, this is a guy who's got a better rating than this guy here. He's calling for $2.50, and this one says 14. Where's the price now? Which one's closer? But I just thought I'd show you this. It's good to know these things. Be in on the know. Look at my BMR today getting taken down, but not for long. That thing always comes off that number and is right back up over 3. You watch this one close. Look at the 1 month chart on it. 315. All right. So back to SoFi. Look at it going. Oh my God. And folks, I just said this to you. If after 12 o'clock that we don't see this price falling, and look where the price was right here at 12 o'clock, let's get on up here. 11:45, 8:58. Ah, now you know why I decided to come up live. Came up live today when the price was where you can see. And yesterday I told people I put up a video yesterday. I put up a short yesterday. I told people you can see these shorts when I was putting them up. There it is. 829. Sofi did it hit bottom. That's what I told them. 829 yesterday. It went lower. It went to 820, but you can see I'm showing these people convergence points. I'm showing them when it's starting to make moves up. These little shorts I put on. People talk about my videos previously that I posted my full length and in depth digging into the stocks that they're too long. Some of them were ridiculous. I went up sometimes to 45 minutes I think on one, even over an hour. But now I'm trying to keep them down to 10 minutes and 15 minutes. But like I said, for people that are watching those videos, they can be the judge when they want to wipe go away and go to the next thing. I don't need to put necessarily a limitation on it. If people find what I'm saying interesting, if they're cooking dinner or whatever they're involved in, washing their car or whatever, and they're listening, doesn't matter to me how long it takes. We got a notification here. Let's see what we got. Somebody maybe responding or saying anything. Yeah, no. All right. So let's talk about some other guys that are on YouTube. One of them is the Fundamentals of Trading podcast. Look into the gentleman. I think his name is Tevis. He has this channel, and he has information on the dark pool, which I think is very interesting. I don't know where he's obtaining it, but I don't have access to it. But he's showing how many people are in on this dark pool with large block trades in the dark pool right now. He brings that to light, which I think is important. Another one of my favorites to tune into, and I'll give him a little help here with his channel, is the stock goat. Stock goat. Yeah, very, very. This guy stays informed too, just like me, and he brings some other things to light that are value. It's very valuable information. So, I suggest you take a look at what he's got going on. And let's see. I think I should leave that open, and I think I should leave that open while I'm doing this. Boy, howdy, man, does this look good? Volume now at almost 21 million. And again, you can see the size of the buys. You can see how some of them are just so small because retail buyers, there's 200 there, there's 400 there, watching it close. 20 million, 944, 632. And one thing I like to tell people is when you see this move, like there's 130, 103 shares bought, and there's another small purchase. But these smaller purchases, if you're seeing them come in of 5 to 10 shares and the price is moving up, folks, that's an indicator. When you see just 5 shares sold and the price went up a penny, that's an indication of strength. All right. So, just another little tip I have for you. If you find that valuable, appreciate you giving me a thumbs up and appreciate your subscription, hitting the bell, leaving your comments. I'm always very grateful to anybody that does that. And let's get over here. All right. Anybody else? Rolling Dudes just watched my Wheel of Fortune clip. Yeah. Oh man, I was on a roll that day. There's no question about it. It was quite a crazy story, I'll have to tell you. First of all, I was working at a car dealership. I had been working at Gatorland Zoo prior, and kind of at the same time, I was doing the Gator Jumperoo show at Gatorland Zoo in Orlando, Florida, between Orlando and Kissimmee, right on Orange Blossom Trail. It's a big park. It's grown even since then. They've expanded. Place caught on fire about 15, 18 years ago, and they had to rebuild. But anyway, let me just tell you a little bit about it. I've done shows with alligators and crocodiles. I've played with them, picked them out of ponds. I've done it all. I've gone and gotten the eggs off the nests, and I can call alligators. I can go out there and trust me. You make that loud, make that sound, they're going to come from miles. Gators all around you if you want to do that. But anyway, so Gatorland Zoo was working there. We're working at the dealership, World Chevrolet. Got my chance to. Friend called me up, said, "Hey man, go down to. They're going to be drawing for the Wheel of Fortune over at the Altamont Mall. You should get up and go over there. And I said, well, I'd have to call my boss and call in sick or something. He said, do whatever you got. Get on the Wheel of Fortune. So I went over, got my number drawn. Next thing you know, went through this extensive whole week long of, there was like 200 people at the first thing, and they whittled it down from there to 100. And the next day, whittled that down to 50, whittled that down to 30. I made it on the show. So anyway, here's the deal though. They had said when we left on the final Thursday, with 30 of us left to be picked, the 15 that were going to be on, then all of a sudden they had said, all right, we're going to be calling you tomorrow by 8 p.m. if you're going to be on the show. So Friday comes, I'm at work. Everybody said, man, I think I'm going to get the call. I really do. We all went down to TGI Fridays. We were drinking cocktails and waiting for the big call, and 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, no phone call. 8:15, nothing. I was devastated. And of course, my friends were trying to cheer me up, and they were patting me on the back, and they were saying, "Oh man, don't worry, Tyler. It's okay, man. Whatever. And don't worry. You didn't lose anything." And so I got plastered, and my boss actually drove me home, dropped me off in the driveway, and I just walked up and went and plopped myself in bed, and all bummed out, and laying there. And by the way, all the guys at the dealership had been pulling pranks on me ever since they knew I was trying to get on the show. They would be calling Vanna White, line one for Tyler, and all this other stuff, and making up all kinds of stuff. They were just ribbing me. And then when I didn't get on, they were kind of, some of them giving me a hard time, but the others, they were sympathizing with me. And so anyway, like I said, next morning, 7 o'clock, phone rings. I pick it up. Hello. Yes, this is Margie from the Wheel of Fortune, and I said, all right, who is this? Who is this really? I said, not funny. Click. Hung up the phone. So, wait, going back to sleep. I'm drifting just back off. By the way, like I said, I didn't get in until 2:30 in the morning. Hammered. Phone rings again. Hello, who is? Is this Maggie from the Wheel of Fortune? Do not hang up the phone. We're calling to let you know that you made it onto the show. And you know what I said to her? Because I was just drunk and stupor still, and I said, "You were supposed to call last night by 8 o'clock, And then she said, I know. We apologize. Our flight got delayed coming in, and we didn't arrive till like 9:30 or 10." I said, "You should have called anyway." But anyway, I got over it, and I was a little upset. But then I said, "So what's next?" She says, "Well, we need you down at the studio, Universal Studios, by 11." And I was like, "Huh? I what?" And listen, I hadn't shaved yet or anything. I was just like, I was caught off guard. I was out of my mind, drunken stupor, hungover, horrible. I jump the shower, shave, throw on this suit and stuff, and I borrowed a I borrowed a blazer jacket from my friend. He let me borrow a jacket. I found out later he had actually sewed buttons onto that for me before I went on because he didn't like the buttons that were on the jacket, which I thought was phenomenal. So I was very grateful to him for that. But anyway, make a long story short, got down there, and on the way in, I got my hair cut. And this guy that was the barber changed my life forever because he said, you look horrible. And I said, I know. He says, how you feel? I said, I feel horrible too. He says, they make this product called Ginkgo Biloba or something like that. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong, but you know what it is. It's got ginseng in it and stuff. He says they sell it at the counter at the 7-Elevens and stuff, or the little, Circle K or Quality Dairy. I said, all right. So I stop in there. I grab one of these packets of these things. I take one. And I'm starting to feel good. We get in there where the studio is, and they're going to do a drawing for the 3 first contestants for the first filming of the show. And I don't know if you know this or not, but they actually film all the shows in one day for the whole week. So I don't get in on the first show because we didn't get the drawing, and they're using little ping pong balls with numbers on them. And then the next one we don't get on, and the next one we don't get on. The next one, and we didn't get on. So I was going to be on the final show, of course. And by then, this little thing I had taken was wearing off. So I said, man, I got to take another one. So I took another one. And if you watch the video, folks, it's sort of funny because you can tell that I was all like wired. I mean, that stuff got into my system, the second one, and I started getting so. I'm already wound up anyway. You can see that about my character. I'm kind of boisterful and outgoing and energetic. And man, I was just going nuts with that stuff in me, and I was just like so. Well, I was thinking clearly, and I'll tell you one point. At one point, after I had won the puzzle where about Ponce de Leon, I won there, and they gave me a bonus puzzle that if I could solve it, and it was supposed to be connected. And I saw when they put the letters up, which is the NRSTLE, there were only like two letters there in that what was up there. But for some reason, as I looked at that, the word just came into my view. I saw the whole word just as clear as bell. I saw it in my mind's eye. And I just said, Discovery. Now, I want you to know, when he said, okay, you've got 5 seconds, it seemed like I was about at 4 seconds before I said it. But when I watched it on television later, it blew my mind because it was literally within a half a second that he said, okay, you got five. And Discovery, just like that. So, anyway, to make a long story short, I won't tell you what happened at the end of the show. I'll let you watch it if you've gone over and checked it out. But at any rate, it was amusing. It was fun. It was a great time, and that's when I first got into the stock market. And so there you go. That's what that's all about. I started in my music too when I got the money. Now you might think, oh wow, so how does it work once you win? Well, for me it was different from the most because what you're supposed to do is wait until 90 days after the show has been filmed and been broadcast on national television, and then within 90 days they're going to send you your funds. But in my case, they filmed in, I think it was July, but the show wasn't going to be aired until like November. So I was the first week of the new show for the new season of Wheel of Fortune, had to wait from July, August, September, October, November, 5 months. Then I had to wait three. So I did not get my money for 9 months. And here's the cool part: only a very few people knew that I had actually won some money and a fair amount. So I didn't say anything to anybody. I just figured, what's the point? I'm gonna tell them all now. They're not gonna believe me. I don't have any money to show them. So I waited. Turns out that I went back down to TGI Fridays, the same one where the I was the night I didn't get the call. Talked to the manager. Said, "Hey, could I have a party here?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "What I'm going to plan on do? I'm going to videotape when my November comes around and the week comes on. I'm going to videotape Monday night show, Tuesday night show, Wednesday night show, Thursdays, and then Friday we'll watch my show out here live." And I said, and when we get down there, I can put the cassette in. And I was I did a smart thing while I was on the tryouts and everything. I got every single contestant's name and phone number. And I said, because I might do something special come when the show comes on. So I had all their names and phone numbers. So I called them and said, hey, Friday, go down to TGI Fridays in Orlando by the International Airport. I'm going to have a party there, and you're going to be on all the TVs, your show and your show and your show. So I had all the contestants showing up at the TGI Fridays. I also called two television stations local and said, hey, would you be interested in doing a story on Wheel of Fortune, and the winners are going to be there that are going to be on the TVs, and they said yeah. So I had two TV stations show up, and of course I had called all my friends, didn't tell them why, but I'm having a party at TGI Fridays. The owner of the place was absolutely fantastic. He bought everybody the first round and supplied all the hors d'oeuvres on the house. Put out this wonderful table of hors d'oeuvres, and that night it was a madhouse. There, I must have had 50, 60 of my friends. I had family members coming in from everywhere, cousins, aunts, uncle, everybody was there. I had the videotape playing, all the screens in the restaurant showing Monday's show with the contestants right over there, and then showing Tuesday's show with those contestants over here. It was just such a cool thing to have happen. And so I'm sharing this with you because I just thought you might find it interesting. And I'm sorry that I'm not talking about SoFi right now, but that was my experience uh, on the Wheel of Fortune. And to tell you one other funny thing, my friends had all said to me, Tyler, what if you get to the bonus round and which one of those letters? Because back then, Wheel of Fortune was different. They didn't have the spinning. They just had five letters, WHEEL. And they had five prizes you could win from: a car, a truck, a vacation, other things. And one was the cash, which I think the time the most you could win was 25,000. So anyway, what I said to everyone when they asked me which letter you would pick, I said, I think they put the money right next to you, right there beside you. So that's the one I would pick. And that's what I did on the show. You'll see something very interesting if you watch it is that it was funny the way that Pat Sajak reacted to me when I picked the card out. He said to me when I pulled it out to him, he says, "Well, you did that with some panache." And I said, "Thank you, Pat." And then he kind of glanced at me and says, "Where is your panache anyway?" And I was kind of stunned. I leaned around in front of him where the cameras couldn't see my mouth. I said, "I don't think you want me to say that, Pat." I actually said that. It wasn't over the microphone. I guess they dubbed it out or whatever. But what a crazy thing to have happened. Anyway, after the show was ending, I go over and I was going to, someone else said, "What about Vanna? What are you going to do with Vanna?" I said, "Oh, man, I'm going to grab her, give her a big old hug, maybe get a squeeze." And no, no, she saw that coming, man. She must have had that happen way too many times. She came hand out only, and she was like, "No, no, you're not touching me, boy." So that was kind of funny. Anyway, all right, so enough of that. Let's get back over here. What's Sofi doing? Get over here and get distracted about all this nonsense about Wheel of Fortune and stuff, and you can see what it's doing. Holding up very strong on very, very solid volume. And everybody else is having a good day today over here and related. You see here, people also watch. And I happen to own this PLTR. Um, and I also own, and I've told you about, maybe you should look at going into, and that is to go into this one here, and that is CCL, Carnival Cruise Line. What's doing today? Beat the street, beat earnings big time yesterday, and they got slammed down, slammed down. Look at this 5-day chart. Look at that. Look at this nonsense. Same thing with SoFi. They beat the street like crazy. They beat the street and wham! See this? It makes you wonder why. Caught off guard, maybe? Wanted in? Have their ways and means? Look where it is. All these poor people that fell for this and sold out under panic when all it was manipulation. Manipulation. It's making me lose. And I got the loser blues. So, I'm sorry. But I'm an artist, a music artist. You can get over to Google Play, Apple Music, Spotify. Check out my channel, Tyler, Tyler, Self, Selph. Doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe, and you might enjoy some of my fun tunes. Let's get back over here. We're going to go look. Yeah, we've got a nice little plateau building right here during lunchtime. And I just want to thank all of you who did come over here today and take a look at this and who've been listening to my antics and my stories and my tales. And uh, I think we're having a good day. It looks to me like we're building the plateau here. And what do I see as a price target? Well, like I said, keep an eye. If you look at this 5-day, this is where we're going to try to uh, surpass right now. This is our next hurdle or obstacle. And I'm 99% sure it's going to go over that this afternoon. So that's it for my live.